creative living, utilizing today's technology with the best of the past to bring you innovative ideas and up-to-date information for creative lifestyles in today's active world. With your host, Cheryl Borden.
Barbara, thank you for being with us. We're going to learn a different way to create some interesting designs on our walls. And I guess first let me ask you, is there anything you haven't tried in terms of painting on walls? Is that where you get your ideas, just trial and error?
It started with trial and error, but you get ideas from other people. I get ideas from looking at wallpaper samples and things like that, and just trying to make things quicker, easier for people. So yeah, trial and error works for that.
Well, I noticed in the DVD when I watched it, you really do have a way of making all of these techniques seem very simple to do, and it sort of takes that fear factor out of thinking, gosh, I could do that.
Yeah, I'd like to think that I do take the fear factor out of it, because I think that's what holds a lot of people back. And it's you know, if you watch something being done, it's much easier to learn how to do it.
If you see it. And what we're going to show right now is, I don't know if there's a top bottom, that's one good thing, it doesn't really matter. This is called what you call rag painting. We're just going to use some white cotton torn up t-shirts or something. It's just a cotton fabric, isn't it?
Yeah, I call this marbleized rag painting, and we just use plain old white t-shirt fabric. Works perfect.
And now what type of paint are we using?
For this, I like to use latex wall paint, and I mix it with a glazing medium.
A glazing medium.
Yeah, which is a transparent mixture that you mix with your paint, and it gives the paint body and transparency.
Oh.
So you can manipulate it on the wall. Otherwise, it would just kind of be flat and lay there.
That's what you're going, when you talk about manipulating it, we'll be seeing how you do the wrist action. Okay.
Exactly.
So you have a base coat, whatever color I guess you want on your wall.
So yeah, for this technique, we have a base coat on the walls, and I do prefer that you use a sealed finish. So you either want something like satin or a semi-gloss base, and that's so that the paint doesn't get absorbed into the wall so quickly like it would with a flat paint.
Oh, okay.
So I just
thought about that. Now, have you added the glazing medium to all? You're using 3 colors, sort of a light, medium, and dark.
Exactly. And I've gotten this started by mixing the glaze with the paint. And I use one part flat latex paint to 2 parts of the glazing medium.
2 glazing and 1 paint. Okay.
Exactly.
2 parts to 1. All right.
And so that gives the paint transparency and body. And I start with I usually work with light backgrounds. That makes it quite easy. And the first color I choose is something that's real similar to what I have going on the wall.
But it is slightly different.
Slightly. But I really, this is the key. You want to start by spreading on an area of color with a color that matches pretty closely to what we have going on the wall. And then I want you to have 2 darker tones, at least 2. You don't really need more than that. And we're going to blend that into the color that we put on the wall.
I like the way you don't have to line things up or paint straight. You're just
it's just smearing it on the wall, for God's sakes. We're making it easy. And it's fun. I mean, if you're going to get caught up in this part, it's just pointless. I want you to just keep rolling.
Okay. So these are just the cotton cloths you talked about, and you kind of wad them up.
Take it, and I want you to put it in your hand, and I want you, and you can see I have it kind of flat. And I'm going to set it down and twist my wrist. Set it, and I'm starting on the edge. Press, twist, press, twist, press, twist. Every once in a while, you're going to want to shake out the rag.
Oh, so the paint goes underneath.
Yeah, and then again, I have a flat surface, which seems kind of unusual because I know that most of you who've seen rag painting think that most of the times when you see rag painting, we crumple it in a ball and they go like this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, can you see how long that's going to take me to do that?
I see. So this is for speed and efficiency.
Exactly.
Now, if you were doing a real wall, I mean, a 8-foot or 10-foot, whatever wall, do you still just do it in little patches like this?
Yeah.
Gives you more control, I guess, over the paint.
Well, I'm using a quick dry glaze. So.
So you have to do it before it dries, obviously.
Right. So a 2 by 2 foot area works fine.
Oh,
actually, you'd want to use that anyway.
Now, I noticed you did kind of paint over that, so that's okay to run it over the edges of the other one a little bit.
You want to run up to it, and you can go over it a little bit with this base color, but I don't want you to go over it with these colors.
Oh, okay, not with the 2 darker ones.
Right. So we're putting those on, and then it's just blending these 2 darker colors into the lighter color. pretty much smearing it on. Taking your rag, using
Making
the
it
flat
flat.
side of it, and then I'm just going to go, and I like to start in the edges, press
Where the
and
two
twist,
met, you
Yeah.
start there.
or the bottom.
So you just really are putting your hand down and twisting. All in the wrist.
And it's a soft, subtle twist. It's hardly anything. As you can
Yeah,
see, as far as I put it down and I twist, and it's like pulling it up is the movement. Just to press and push up.
What a nice way to not have exact rules. There's really nothing you can do wrong in this effect.
Well, yeah, and it goes real quick. I do want you to avoid overlapping. That's where you could probably have a problem if you had to have one.
With the dark colors, not
Right.
the, okay.
So do try to just go up to the area.
And I guess if we're just starting out, probably the 2 by 4 foot section would certainly would have more control that way.
Yeah. And you can see this is going pretty fast.
Yeah, it really does. Have you ever used more than just 2 colors? Could you use 6 or 7?
You could, but then I think it'd get a little chaotic.
Oh, okay.
I call it marbleized rag painting, not because I'm trying to recreate marble. It's just the feeling of it.
Oh.
You know, this is by no means trying to recreate marble. It's the feeling.
And so with this technique, when you get up to where the top part was, you can actually sort of manipulate that paint to fill up the holes, for instance.
Exactly. So
Got the hang of it here.
Yes,
Now, once this dries, it's done. You
yeah,
don't
I
have
kind
to
of
go
missed a
back
spot
and-
in there, but my rag is full of paint, so I'm just going to come in there and fill in those spots.
I bet the biggest mistake people would make would be overworking it and blending it all together. Is that
Yes,
correct?
exactly. Oh, you're making the perfect points. You can see I'm going into here, I'm laying on the paint, and I'm pulling it off. I'm not going to sit there and analyze every little thing that's going on in here, because that'll drive you crazy, and you can see that it's just going to all come off.
What an inexpensive way to transform a whole room, because all you have is the cost of your paints and paintbrushes.
Exactly.
Well, Barbara, thank you so much for showing us how easy it is to do this marbleized rag painting, and we've all got rags and we can get our paint, and this would be fun to try.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's been great.